manages to get the ball back, putting on a show with the ball handling.
Shot clock at 5. Kevin Durant way outside, delivers! Kevin Durant from downtown.
George up into Durant.
Dunk it, dunk it!
Him, and he will. Uncoiling like the rattlesnake and striking. Putting that one right on Hibbert's head and drawing oohs and ahs from this generally.
Every single year on 2K, the hardest player to recreate is Kevin Durant. You're looking at a dude that's almost 7 feet tall, max wingspan, can handle the ball, shoot the three from deep, dunk on people, crazy mid-range game, can shoot over anyone. I mean, the dude is a demigod. But I think we have the closest possible build to Kevin Durant here in NBA 2K21. We teamed up with my boy Makery, representing Kyrie. We got KD and Kyrie in the park. All right, y'all, so here's what I want you to do. I want everyone to comment on the video right now. Who is the best duo in the NBA? Is it KD and Kyrie? Or maybe it's Bron and AD? Or maybe it's Steph and Clay? Or maybe you got somebody else, man. Comment down below, and while you're down there, if you don't mind, drop me a like, man. It takes like 2 seconds. It helps me out a lot. But check this out. I'm going to show you exactly what this build is. But first, I want to show you the gameplay so you could see kind of how it plays and how it's similar to Kevin Durant. All right, now I didn't make this build because, listen, there's only 2 weeks left until next gen. I didn't really feel like grinding a whole nother build out, but I found someone that had the build that I was looking for. His name is Upload. He's actually a Pro-Am player, so I appreciate him reaching out to me and letting me use the account. But check this out. What I've seen is a lot of people making Kevin Durant builds and basically just making them a pure stretch, because if you're going to be tall and you want to have a high three-pointer, you basically have to be a pure green. But I just feel like Kevin Durant does so much more than just shoot. Like, Kevin Durant finishes in the paint like a maniac. You know, he can windmill on people like that. He can also shoot the three, can handle the ball. He's athletic. He's actually very underrated defensively. He's a really good, like, protect the rim type of guy. Like, there's so many things KD does. I think he's way more than a pure stretch. So this build, I feel like, as you can see, I can still shoot the three ball, but I can also kind of do everything else that you want to do if you want to represent Kevin Durant. So listen, you're never going to have a perfect KD build, but in my opinion, this is about as close as you're going to get. Now, the only thing is Upload is a Pro-Am player. So Pro-Am players always choose defensive takeover. Now, in my opinion, if you're going to make Kevin Durant, you probably want to go with the offensive takeover, like shot creator or sharpshooter, maybe even slash. Probably not slasher. You'll probably go sharper shot creator. But since he's a Pro-Am player, he chose the defensive takeover option. But as you're going to see, even with the defensive takeover option, I don't even pop my takeover, because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play as close to KD as possible. I'm using Kevin Durant's jump shot. I'm using all the KD sigs that I could find to make it as much like KD as possible. And as you can see, for an NBA player that's basically impossible to create with the player builder system, I think this build is as close as you can get. I mean, like I said, I see a lot of people doing the pure stretch kind of idea, but I just feel like it's too limited in terms of Kevin Durant. All right, but as you can see, we got the long arms. We're pretty tall. We're never going to be 7 feet tall like KD, but we're pretty tall. We can match up against bigs on this game, so that's a good thing. Can handle the ball decent. You get contact dunks. You can shoot the three and all of that. All right, so we got KD. Let's go into this build and show you exactly what the attributes are looking like. But like I said, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video for this Kevin Durant build, and let's go. Now, the first thing you're going to see is the name of the build is an interior finisher, but that's only because he made it at power forward. If you made it at small forward or shooting guard, it would be called a slasher, because that's what all blue-green pie charts are called this year for some reason. I don't know why, but it's 2K21. A scoring machine name would be the best for Kevin Durant. But as you can see, he gets all the contact dunks, a 75 three ball. The ball handling is low, but at least it's upgraded to the point that, like, you're not going to get ripped every time you dribble. And then he's got solid defense and rebounding all around. Now, obviously, I know someone's gonna be in the comments, oh, imagine Kevin Durant with only a 75 three. Like, listen, you're not gonna be able to be 6'8" max wingspan like I am and have a better three ball than a 75 unless you go with a pure stretch like everyone else is doing. But like I said, it's Kevin Durant. He's not a pure stretch. Yes, in real life, he's got like a 93 pointer if we want to put a rating on it, but he's also like contact dunking on people. He's athletic. He's fast. Like, if you go with a pure stretch, you're basically just a shooter. And in my opinion, that's not Kevin Durant. But as you saw the badge count. You get Hall of Fame finishing, Hall of Fame shooting. In my opinion, it's as best a Kevin Durant build as you're gonna get. If you guys think you have a better Kevin Durant build, put it in the comments. I mean, you could go with a pure yellow so that you have better ball handling, but I'm gonna be honest. You see the way I'm moving? because of the speed glitch. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a really big glitch in this game in terms of how players move. Like, you could have a 30 ball handling and still be able to speed boost because the speed glitch. Like, you see how, like, off of a dribble move, I'll just instantly take off and zoom like that. Like, it's the speed glitch. It shouldn't be in the game, but since it is, it almost makes a Kevin Durant build a little bit more possible, because even with I think, would I have a 68 or a 70 ball handling, something like that, I can still basically speed boost. Like, I don't get the pro dribble moves, but I can still zoom around the court. As you can see, I'm sparking threes, even though it's only a 75. Like, obviously, listen, guys, I agree with you. KD should have a much higher three ball, but either you're going to make a 6'5" Kevin Durant, or you're going to make a tall Kevin Durant that actually looks like Kevin Durant and just have a little bit lower of a three-pointer. I'm going to tell you right now, a 75 three ball with Hall of Fame shooting badges, hot spots, I'm sparking it pretty good, as you can see. Like, I was shooting limitless, corners, greening, shooting over people. I was pretty confident shooting, and this is with Kevin Durant's jump shot. Imagine I put on like a real like sweat try-hard jump shot. I'd be real comfortable on this build. And of course, as I said, if you were really making a Kevin Durant build, obviously you would choose one of the offensive takeovers. You know what I mean? You'd go sharp or shot creator. And I believe you get both of those options if you make this build. I know for sure you would get slasher and sharp. Not sure about shot creator. You might. But obviously you would go with those. But I understand why Upload chose rim protector, because he's a pro-am player. And pro-am players, if you play off ball, basically you're going to have a defensive takeover, because that's what's going to help your pro-am team win the most. But let's move away from the game and talk about this duo in real life. So if Kevin Durant comes back looking like the KD of old, this Brooklyn Nets team is a very, very formidable team. It's not just KD and Kyrie. They have one of the best supporting casts in the league. Like, they got Dinwiddie, LeVert. Like, they have some very, very good players surrounding them. And, I mean, not just those two. There's even more, Joe Harris, DeAndre. Like, they have some very, very good pieces around them. Now, the first major thing is Kevin Durant going to be Kevin Durant? Now, if I had to guess, in my opinion, I say yes. I mean, obviously KD was athletic, but he wasn't one of these guys that like solely relied on his athleticism. Obviously, he's ridiculously skillful and a ridiculously good shooter, and not just shooter, just scorer in general. And I feel like, honestly, with today's rehab methods and technology, like, he's going to come back and be KD. Now, will he be better than he used to be, or a little bit less than he used to be? I don't know, but he'll be around the same level, okay? Now, the next big question is the chemistry thing. Is it going to work with all these pieces? Are KD and Kyrie going to fit? Are the role players going to do what, KD and Kyrie are not willing to do in terms of, the dirty work, the defensive stuff, like the stuff you need role players to accept? Will they be willing to do that? And also, the big thing is Kyrie. Let's be honest. A lot of teams Kyrie has been on seem to always have issues, drama, chemistry issues. We saw what happened in Boston. There always seems to be little rifts and stuff. Is it going to work? Is everyone going to get along? Is basically one of the big questions for this team. If they do, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out of the East. Now, I'm not writing all the, listen, you got the Heat, got the Bucks. There's good teams at Toronto. There's good teams in the East. But you'd have to say at this point, the Nets are one of the favorites in terms of going into the season. So we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, there's a lot of unanswered questions. All I know is this NBA season is going to be so damn entertaining. I feel like the league is at a really good place in terms of parity. There's so many teams you would say have a real chance of winning the title. It's not like, there's a Golden State out there with 4 Hall of Fame players all in their prime, and then, really solid role players. And you just know, like, unless something happens and they get injured, they're going to win the title. There's no team like that. You got the defending champ Lakers with Bron and AD surrounded by a solid supporting cast. Over in Brooklyn, you got KD, Kyrie surrounded by really good supporting cast. You got Steph, Clay, Draymond coming back in the Bay. They're going to be solid, really, really good. You still got the Bucks with Giannis and Middleton. You got the Heat coming back, 1 year older, 1 year more experience, coming off the title run. I mean, the list goes. There's more. Toronto's got a solid. Boston, they're going to be looking to come back and do better than. There's so many really, really good teams in the NBA. It's just making up for an exciting season. I didn't even say Houston, Denver, Utah. Like, there is an incredible amount of parity in the league. And it just makes for such entertaining seasons, and I can't wait to see what happens, man. But before we get this stop and finish this gameplay, let me know what y'all think about this Kevin Durant build. Now for Kyrie, obviously, you know, we just use a playmaking shot creator. That's about as good of a Kyrie build as you're gonna have, so it was easy. But like I said, finding a Kevin Durant build that actually, you know, plays similar to Kevin Durant, it's not easy, and I feel like this is the best possible one. As I said, I see a lot of people just go with the pure stretch, but it's like, it's too limited. Kevin Durant can get buckets from anywhere. He's not just a shooter. Dude is a mid-range, you know, pull up in your face monster. He can shoot from 30, 35 feet out. He'll go drive in the paint and dunk on people like this. Dude can defend. He's athletic. He can do it all. You can't just use a pure stretch to represent Kevin Durant. So I feel like this is the best overall Kevin Durant build you're going to find, especially having the long arms, pretty good height. I mean, we're 6'8". That's about as, you know, as close as you're going to be able to get in 2K21. You know, if you go 6'10", 6'11", like KD actually is, you're just going to have no shooting. You're not going to have contact dunks. The ball handling on this build is already too low to represent Kevin Durant. I'll be honest about that. But like I said, it's as best as you're going to get. If you go pure yellow, you're just not going to have the scoring ability to represent Kevin Durant. Sure, you might have the ball handling and the pro dribble moves, but you're not going to have the scoring ability of what a lot of people consider to be the greatest scorer ever, or at least one of the greatest scorers ever, in Kevin Durant, man. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully y'all like this build. As I said, I know the takeover's a little off, but as I say, he's a pro player. He needs that defensive takeover. If it was Kevin Durant, you're definitely going with the sharp or the shot creator takeover. But overall, this Kevin Durant build is the best you're going to see. Hopefully y'all enjoy. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.